there, Ken Beaton here. Thanks for joining me today. Today what I want to do is share with you the top 4 most influential books that I have read that have helped me decide to invest in real estate. Not how to invest in real estate, because there's actually very few books out there that will teach you how to invest in real estate. These 4 books taught me why I should be investing in real estate. A little bit of the how, but more about why I should be investing in real estate. So I'm going to go way back to the very first book that started this whole process of investing in real estate, and that's the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, written by Robert Kiyosaki. This is a book that I picked up in the bookstore one day when I was looking for some new financial literacy books to teach to my kids, and just the color of the book and the name caught my attention. So I picked it up, and when I took it home, I couldn't put it down. It was that mind-blowing. This literally changed my world, because I mentioned earlier that back in the early 90s I was a real estate agent, and one of the struggles that I always had was, well, first of all, it was a very down market. It was very tough to get into. There wasn't a lot of properties for sale. There wasn't a lot of buyers. So it seemed like all of the deals, the transactions that were coming my way were the ones that needed some creative flair to them. So it seems like every time I tried to do something creative, I would get shut down. The industry would say, no, that's not legal. That's not how we do it, whatever. And I didn't know any different. So I just accepted that to be the norm. I gave up. And then about 8-9 years later, when I picked up this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's when I realized, wow, I could have done so much more if I'd only had a little bit of this knowledge back as a real estate agent. But better late than never. It started me on the journey to financial freedom, because this is the book that helped me realize that investing in real estate was going to be my path, my journey to create wealth for our retirement. Now, the next book that I picked up, I was now hooked on Robert Kiyosaki and all of his teachings. So the next book I picked up was called Who Took My Money? Again, written by Robert Kiyosaki. And what I love about Robert Kiyosaki's style of writing is he usually writes in a story format. And then he also, he's got the skill set of being able to take something very complicated and bring it down into something that's very easy to, for the layperson, myself, to be able to understand and read. Now, in this particular case, this book talks about our savings accounts and our pension funds, if you're in the US, it's the 401ks. If you're in Canada, it's your RSPs. So where's all this money disappearing to when the market crashes, etc.? It's always been a mystery to me. And that book really helped enlighten and answer all of these questions that I had. So an excellent book. Then that led me into his third book, again, Robert Kiyosaki. It's called The Prophecy. Now, in this particular case, this book I won at as a door prize at an event one time. And it was a book that was interesting to me, but I just I wasn't too excited about reading it, just simply because of the title, called Prophecy. And once I got into it, though, I couldn't put it down either. And what was really cool about this book is it is not predicting the future, but it's helping you understand what's to come in the future based upon our history, and very enlightening about the stock markets and the crashes that we've experienced in the past. These have all been predicted by Robert, and not exactly to the day or even the year necessarily, but the cycles are very predictable, and the reasons for these crashes are explained in Who Took My Money and in The Prophecy. So it helps you be better prepared for the future. And then the last book, number 4, it's called Conspiracy of the Rich. Once again, written by Robert Kiyosaki. This book is a brief explanation of a much larger book called The Creature of Jekyll Island. Now, The Creature of the Jekyll Island explains the whole concept behind the Federal Reserve in the U.S. and how it was created by some of the richest individuals in North America, and how it's influenced by the European rich and wealthy people over there as well. It just gives a little bit of history of money and how it has managed and controlled our economies, not for tens of 20 years or anything like that. We're talking hundreds of years. We're talking as far back as the Napoleonic Wars. So a very interesting book to help you understand about the flow of money, the creation of money, who's controlling what, and so forth. Whether you believe there's a conspiracy out there or not, it doesn't matter. This book is written based upon facts, well-known facts that cannot be disputed, but it just helps you to understand better what's going on in our economy. And I'm just one person. There's no way I can change our economy. If the governments keep printing money, and they call it quantitative easing to help businesses survive during market crashes, well, that's all good and fine, but where's this money coming from? How is that going to impact our future? These are questions you need to know and understand in order to be better prepared for the next crash. So that's why I love real estate, because it's one of the three basic human needs. You've got your food, you've got your shelter, and you've got water. People are always going to need shelter, no matter what happens in the economy. When the market crashes, people lose their homes, unfortunately, but they still need a roof over their head, so they become tenants. And as you've got more demand for your tenants, the value of your properties go up. So that's why I have focused for the long-term buy and hold in the multi-unit apartment buildings, is basically because of all of the information I've just read here and I've shared with you that has been provided by Robert Kiyosaki. So if you haven't read any of these books, then what I suggest to you is you start off by reading Robert's first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That will help open up your mind to a world of new possibilities. You can then go from there and read all of his other books should you choose to do so, and I highly recommend that you do read his other books as well. Now, if you found this to be of value and of interest to you, then please hit the like button below, and I would love if you would also subscribe and follow me, and I'm more than happy to share more books with you. I'm actually going to share in another video my 4 top books for personal development, because the reality is that I didn't get to be as successful as I am just because I read some real estate books and because I took some real estate courses. The true secret to my success was the fact that I took personal development courses at the same time, which encouraged me and allowed me to do things that I never would have done before. So you put the two together, you've got magic. So I'm going to share with you the 4 top books, and there's so many to pick from, but I'll share with you the 4 top books on personal development that I have personally felt given me the most value, the biggest bang for your buck. So watch for those coming up real soon, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Take care.